Okay. What the hell? It keeps telling me that the stream ends and it's here. I don't know what the hell's happening. Okay, well, hopefully. What the fuck? Oh my god. What's happening? My thing's broken. It's broken. It's breaking. It's broken. What's going on? It says to end stream, but it's not saying I'm live. But I open it up and it says I'm live for a bit. What the fuck? Of course, it had to be all the technical difficulties in the world. Okay. It says I'm connected to the internet. We should be good. We should be fine. It should stop crashing. Right? We got internet? Yeah, we got internet, all right. Cool, cool, cool. So let me do this. Ah, man. Technical difficulties is literally like the worst part of of streaming. Definitely. Okay, okay. Everything should be dandy. Everything should be dandy and fine. Okay. I swear, don't crash on me. Don't fucking crash on me. Alright, let's take this from the top. Whoa, we playing Dark Souls? Solar, welcome. Yes, we are playing Dark Souls, and it is, believe it or not, my favorite game of all time. Of all existence, really. Welcome, Solar. It's been so long. I'm glad to have you here. Yes, we are indeed playing Dark Souls. Dark Souls 1. It is, well, last time I did VOD before it got corrupted and the audio was all fucked up. I spent 3 hours in the tutorials just talking because I love the game so much. All right, let's back to what we're reading. I'll do a short skim. Warrior, fearless warrior, weapon expert, high strength and dexterity. And I love how rusted and beat up all the equipment is. It's not Dark Souls so, but this is P2. Listen, we'll get there one day. As much as I hate Dark Souls 2 and how much I love Dark Souls 2, I'm happy that Dark Souls 2 exists. Like, man, that game is that it's like it doesn't even feel like a Dark Souls game. It feels like its own game, like its own type of genre, its own thing. It really does. A knight, a low-ranking knight. As I was saying earlier, I love how this setup and the equipment that he has. Is this a low-ranking knight? Yikes, he's definitely equipped to the shit. He even has a sleeping bag, a pouch, extra daggers and stuff. He's equipped, and this is a low-ranking knight. Makes you wonder. A wanderer, aimless wanderer, wields a scimitar, high dexterity. Literally just aimlessly walking, aimlessly going. Thief, a guilt-ridden thief. High critical hits, has master key. The bandit, savage, savage bandit. High strength, wields heavy battle axe. That is a giant fucking axe. I like his equipment's like the most well put together in terms of like not only just durability but overall care and stuff. It looks new and stuff. But definitely shield has taken some damage for sure. You know, it's interesting how the shield has a spider on it, but if I think correctly, I don't think there's a single spider in Dark Souls 1. It's like I really don't think there is. A bow-wielding hunter. Okay at close range, but weak with magic. I mean, you know, his intelligence is 9, but you look at the bandit and everyone else, they either have the same amount of intelligence as him, which is interesting word description. A sorcerer. Sorcerer of Vinheim. Dragon School. Casts soul sorceries. Interesting definition there. Soul sorceries. Because we're gonna get into a lot of different terms and a lot of different types of sorceries in this game. But it's interesting to point that out. Specifically, it's not just sorcery or just casting magic, casting soul sorceries of Dragon School. Very interesting. Pyromancer. They see this is literally just a fucking a wood axe. It's so fucking bad. And his shield, the shield is broken and chipped and everything. Oh, that's funny. Swamp Pyromancer. Casts fire spells and wields a hand axe. Yeah, it sure does. Cleric. Cleric on pilgrimage, which is interesting about this game is that all the clerics are like on this pilgrimage, not just the undead itself, but the clerics that are also on a pilgrimage. It wields a mace in casting healing miracles. The depraved, unclothed enigma. only armed with club and an old plank shield. Which is funny, this old plank shield looks like it's in better condition than the fucking pyromancers. It really does. And it's funny that this guy has the most insane stats out of like balance and everything. He just has like the hem of his clothes of what would be pants and like pockets. All he has is the fucking string. So just like last time, I went with the Wanderer solely because of the scimitar and I love the moveset. Goddess's Blessing. Divine Holy Water fully restore HP and status. That makes you wonder from which goddess. Black Firebomb. Explodes upon impact when thrown. More deadlier than an STD bomb. You gotta watch out for those STDs. The standard Firebomb. Twin Humanities. A tiny spirit called Humanities, sometimes found on carcasses. Interesting. Binoculars. I like this one. Binoculars. Used to see pure at faraway sights, yeah. Pendant. Oh, man. The holy pendant of having literally no use in the entire game. Trinket. No effect. But fond memories. Comfort travelers. The Master Key. Opens any basic lock, initial equipment for thieves. Which is really funny about the Master Key. Is that the Master Key, it's like, oh, it opens any basic lock. The first locked door you'll encounter in this game in the tutorial, the Master Key will not open, which is so fucking funny. Tiny Bing's Ring, a special tribal ring, which is a tribal. We don't even know about tribal cultures or groups, but that exists. And HP recovers slowly while equipped, which is wrong. That is a wrong description. It does not recover slowly. It gives you a boost in HP. Not recover slowly. Huge misconception. The Old Witch's Ring. Gift from a witch. Ancient ring with no obvious effect. But there is effect, but no obvious effect. And like last time, we're going with Old Witch's Ring. Physique with, let's do large upper body. I'm not going to spend too much time on this at all. Because honestly, I'm going to just jump into it. I'm so excited. Now, let's watch this amazing tutorial. Oh, I love it so much.
In the Age of Ancients.
The Age of Ancients.
The world was unformed.
Shrouded by fog.
A land of grey crags
and
arch trees.
See, there's the dragon just chilling out right there. Look at him. Literally just hanging out in fog. Got fuck all to do.
But
literally just nothing.
Fire.
Now this is very important.
And was fire.
Which a lot of people get wrong in the lore, especially Dark Souls 3 and so forth. With the first original creation of the first fire when it first came out. Life and death. Now this is the important part. And of course, light and dark. Literally, metaphorically, and literally of the light soul and the dark soul. You know, that's part of the original primordial bonfire, or fire, is two things. Look at these.
The souls of lords.
The soul of lords within the fire. The first. Oh my god. Nito. The first of the undead. It makes you wonder, like, did they pick up the soul then turn into that, or they were already like that then got the soul? But it seems like they picked up the soul and then it was turned into. I love that detail right there. That even the witch's Isla's hand is burned by the fire. Singed. And it's interesting that the knights are also part of that lord soul that he has. It's not like they were just fucking anywhere.
So easily forgotten.
No fucking joke about the pygmy. Completely forgetting about it. Which also is interesting, is that is a lord's soul. A lord's soul. Because, you know why they challenge dragons? Because fuck them, that's why. Fuck them. That's the answer. And great firestorms. Like, Witch Island was huge. It's tall as hell. A miasma, death and disease. Looks like it's showing it's peeling off the immortal scales. Betrayed him. And the dragons were no more. And it's interesting to learn about like chronological order. God, there's so many dragons. That Seath literally is like the oldest being ever, and like that still
Thus
exists,
began
even before
the
Gwyn and all
age
them,
of
because he was a
fire.
dragon. He wasn't immortal. Like I guess in time's sake, he's not gonna die, but he was vulnerable
But
to damage.
soon the
He
flames
was like
will
an albino
fade,
freak.
and only
Got
dark
revenge on him.
will remain.
Only dark will remain.
Even now, there are only embers.
And then it's quoting like only embers of like the
Man
primordial
sees
fire.
not light, but only endless
And it looks like right there,
nights.
that's the fire, the fire cube in the beginning.
And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed.
Oh my god,
dark
the cursed
side.
dark side. So much controversy from this one item when Dark Souls 3 came out, with, like just retconning and changing the entire lore. Uh, there's so much to talk about. Again. I got my water, I got everything I need. I love that little downscale mouse.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead.
Specifically brands the undead. Oh,
And
that
in
little
this
guy in the
land,
right. It's just locked in there.
the undead are corralled and led to the north.
So they're literally all gathered, like shepherded forward into this area where they could just lock them
Where they
forever.
are locked away to await
Can't
the
die, you
end
know?
of the world.
Even if they turned hollow, they're not dead. Like, they won't disappear. They're still there. And there's a guy just chilling.
Is your fate.
Ah, thanks. And then it makes you wonder, like, who is this female voice speaking? And I really want to go into this later. What I believe is definitely Velka, the goddess of sin. Because it makes a lot of sense. She's very mysterious, comes out of nowhere. She helps start the journey. Oh my god. Why didn't you just throw me the key, asshole? Keep it on the roof. Oscar. Thanks. Thanks, man. So you said, like, he's releasing all of them, right? Does he have to keep finding additional keys? Or, like, once I'm done with this key, I need to give it back to him so he can unleash more? You know? The real questions here. So, look at this. And I love this little white glow and how it emanates. It's so pretty. And I got the dungeon key. Now, it's interesting how, like, I just have a broken sword. And then, I know me, and, like, there's so many things already to read. Let's start off with just my sword. A straight sword's hilt. Not even the sword, the hilt of a sword. The hilt of this lost sword was found discarded on Undead Asylum. So it's like I was just walking around and it was just lying around and just picked it up. Only slightly better than one's bare hands. And not recommended for extensive use. Be certain to find a replacement quickly. Interesting. Interesting. It's like the game's telling you, like, you want to get rid of this shit. Like, ASAP. Okay, now let's look into the Dungeon Cell key. Key to the dungeon of the Undead Asylum to the north. Which is just saying, it's like, I understand they were corralled and led to the north, but is there an Undead Asylum of the south or the east, you know? It's weird how specifically the north. A mysterious knight, without saying a word, shut the corpse down into the cell. And on the person was this key. Who was this knight? And what was his purpose? There may be no answers, but one must still forge ahead. What a raw ass description right off the bat for that. Old Wanderer's Hood. Hood of an aimless traveler, made from sturdy leather, offers protection versus wind and rain. Good thing that doesn't fucking matter in this game. Coat of aimless traveler, made from sturdy leather and quilting. Instead of just sturdy leather, it also has quilting. Battle comes with the territory when one wanders the land, and this coat provides a certain degree of protection. Yeah, I guess so. A manchetti of an aimless traveler, made from sturdy leather and protects the hands. Boots of an aimless traveler, made from sturdy leather and must have for long journeys. And now, very interesting, An old ring with no use. With specifically not with no use, with no known use. The old witch's ring. An old ring from an old witch. Holy shit, I guess it is. Engraved minutely with indecipherable script, but seemingly useless. Seemingly. Makes you wonder. And then you already come with this thing already. A black separation crystal. Of course, I know it's an online feature, but the description is very fascinating. This black crystal, long a symbol of farewell, so usually we'd give this to someone like when you're saying goodbye or something, is granted to banished undead, which is so fucking funny. We're banished, we're undead. Do they just shove it up our ass or something, or do they give this to us, chain it to us, like put it on our body? Like what the fuck do they do? Because that means all these halls technically have a black separation crystal. The crystal sends phantoms back to their homes, or sends you back to yours. Beware of fickle use of this item if you intend to nurture relations, which literally just means, like, don't just keep leaving people's game, people won't like you. Oh, man. The dark sign. The fucking dark sign. Loses, lose humanity and souls return to bonfire. The dark sign signifies an accursed undead. Those branded with it are reborn after death, but will one day lose their mind and go hollow. Death triggers the dark sign, which returns a bearer to the last bonfire rested at, but at the cost of all humanity and soul. So right here, it's telling you that the whole purpose of this is to send you back to the bonfire. And so if I take out my body, oh my god, like the melting of a corpse, my eyes and mouth literally look hollow, like no eyes whatsoever. And right to the chest, like by the heart area, it looks like this is where the soul resides, or maybe potentially this is where the dark sign is, because it's a physical thing, and we're branded with it. It almost makes you wonder, like, you're not like born with it, but you either get it by someone or life gives you it. You're branded specifically. Oh my god. And it makes you wonder, why does it return you specifically to the last bonfire? Because, like, everything that's life and death and light and dark all comes from the primordial bonfire, which is funny if you use the dark sign now. It's very interesting how it probably is just using the same stock thing of a miracle, because we think it would be its own unique thing, but it's not. It doesn't take you to a bonfire, but of course, for gameplay reasons, it's not going to. But it's really good. It's going to take you back here, even though there's no bonfire. Alright, let's look at my cell. We got this nice looking rat right here. A jar of little poop and maggots and cockroaches. Nice living conditions, really. 10 out of 10. And I love, like, this is definitely, this is where we sleep, our little hay barrels. Little hay piles, Oh, maybe, if we're here to all eternity, maybe I sleep over here. Maybe I'll sleep over there. Now you have these interesting, oh man, like these windows showing, like, as old days, like how decrepit this shit is. And this space later on, you learn, like, this is specifically, like, just to hold candlelight, and, like, this was just an opening to protect that. And they give us a sack. Makes you wonder what these are in these sacks. In this bucket. This indestructible bucket. It's so interesting. And there's the light right there. Alright, well, time to go forward. But even these doors are all rusted and everything. And see where we go. Look at this torch, endless torchlight. Makes you think like someone has to be maintaining it. That hollow. There's literally a dead hollow there, like a corpse of it. Or he's just like so far gone, he's just not even moving anymore, because why would you, And that one's a unique animation too, I believe, like that praying thing. And I like how they showed it, like, they added that PNG of the light, because there's no light source in there, I don't think. But it makes you wonder, like, okay, yeah, he said, Oscar, he was going to release all the undead later, and, like, he did it through the way up. Does that mean every room has an opening like that, or only mine? Makes you wonder. This guy just crying. He's free and open, but like, he's just here. I punch him. He's not even like, why'd you do that? Why? What's the point? You know, I like how it says it offers better, slightly better than your bare hands. It doesn't. It's literally the exact same amount. Aw. 20 souls, we took a soul. Heck yeah. And I love this guy right here. It has just a fucking bag on his head. Why? Why does he have a bag on his head? What was the person? Is that how we all originally come from? It's just we get bagged and thrown in here. You see the mountain, literally mountain of bones and corpses of the asylum demons, specifically with a witch catalyst too. So that is an upgrade of a witch, upgraded fucking asylum demon. So this makes you wonder a few things. One, we learn later that right now we're in like the dungeon part of a castle. Like this used to be a castle. It wasn't just like made specifically for this reason. It's like, oh, they took an old castle and renovated it and made it into a holding cell for all the undead popping up. Now, how the fuck do they manage to put a demon in here? Not just one, two. Like, there's no way it went here willingly. So it really makes you wonder, how the fuck did they get here? I have a couple theories in my own mind, thinking like, oh, one, they could have built a building around it, but that falls flat because a lot of the construction and architecture shows like its use was for like there's a ballroom, there's decor, there's living areas and garden areas. They wouldn't put a fucking demon in nowhere. And another theory. They just dropped them up here, like they used Velka's crow or something, or they had Velka just bring these guardians, bring these demons here. And we know that the reason why they're here is like a test. It's like no reason to have weak undead like trying to escape and just go everywhere. These things will just kill them easily. My best bet, and this is really stretching, is that we know like all these demons are like some part of one of the witches of Islas of what they turn into. Especially that one, because that one specifically has a witch's catalyst, with only two demons have. And I really believe, like, who's capable of transporting these giant creatures? Gwendolyn can, potentially. Gwendolyn can teleport. Who says they can't teleport from far distances, or whatever the case may be? But it's interesting of where this demon is and how did it even got here. If you're wondering if this entire playthrough is going to be a lot of fucking talking about nothing, absolutely. This is what I played Dark Souls for. All the speculation and the beauty of it. And the ragdolls, of course. Hey man, you hearing something? What are you hearing? What are you hearing, Robert? Fight me. I really like to believe that a lot of the hollows here, especially in this area, that they don't fight you, because it's like we probably fought like hundreds or thousands of times already. It's like, what's the point? I love how you can just kick them and punch them. Rah! Jump attack them. And look at that, 40 souls stronger. Look at that, we're champions. We're champions. And I love this already. It's showing like how decrepit this place is. And we know for a fact that this place right down here, specifically, is definitely like a prison cell. And you got all these water ducts and definitely the sewage lines. It's basically just sitting, like fuck it. Fuck, I might as well sit in something. And even then, this guy won't attack. But that just means free souls for me. Raw! I love this button. It's like, this is what your guy does when it's like, oh, you can't do anything. But why does he do that specifically? It's really funny to me. I love that. The uppercut, that was such a mean uppercut. Yeah, a little 1-2. And also we have this. The running back fist. Alright, ladder. So man, you already know, like, this was this is a depressing fucking place to be, like, gathered into. Bringing prisoners down here. Like, you fucked up if you went down this closed off area. And here we are. The first sign of life and outsideness. And already you're like, holy shit. Look at this beautiful architecture. It almost looks like the entrance of a giant ballroom or church or something, you know. With how intrinsic this thing is. If they would you could just make a big box with some doors and cages if you're just trying to keep them all here. This is definitely showing more proof that this place had a previous use. And one thing to note is that there's even foliage here, even grass. And it makes you wonder, is it because of the bonfire itself? Because that's where all life and death stems from, you know. Okay, light bonfire. And like how this is a fire poker. Now, this is already so many questions as it is. We know for a fact that the firekeepers their souls are literally linked to the bonfire. And we know bonfires is like a small little part of the primordial bonfire. And it's interesting how we can light it. And I love the sound effects of it. I really do. So the effect it gives is really interesting. And we see there's bones here. There's a few possibilities why there's like actual human bones here. Either, because we know the firekeeper must be alive. Maybe there's some type of ritual that they turn into, what's it called? A firekeeper after they do something, maybe sacrifice themselves to the primordial bonfire or something, and that's why there's bones there. But it makes you wonder, why is there human bones there? You know, there must be a reason how this can come to be. And I just love like the animation of like this mystical fire. And I love it from here. You can see the demon. There he is. There he is. Just hanging out there. Just chilling, having a great time. It's like, I see you. It's really funny how much you can notice when you just pay attention to something. And then you walk around here, doesn't open from this side, you're like, what the fuck? Where do I go? Yeah, because this place already is definitely like a walkway between, like, going to the different sections of the castle. Oh, excuse me. Ugh, I got the sleepies. I didn't have my morning coffee. Oh well, it's fine. You're going in, it's like, well, there's only one way I can go. To this big ass mysterious door. But before that, an interesting side note is that like there's different vegetation over here too. Showing that in different stages, like, life is continuously growing despite the conditions. And the elevation too, because we're high up on a fucking mountain, as we discuss later. As we will discuss later. And what the fuck are these? These are terrifying statues. And I know, like, the reason, like, specifically, like, gargoyles, the more scary the statue was, is to scare off demons and evil spirits. But what the fuck is this? It looks like a dog with a human face. Very freaky. Very freaky. And then you got this big-ass fucking door. It almost looks like it's covered in oil. Or some type of, like, it's, you know, of course it's a metal door, but either like fire oil or like metal oil leaking from it. It's old, it's huge, and it stands out a lot. Very interesting. Well, let's just open it. Hello, Occupado. And already you're hearing the giant footsteps. You know, what the fuck? Where is it coming from? I don't see anything. But I love it if you just take your time with things. You could notice a lot of things, like the demon. It's right up there. You're like, oh, wonder what he's doing. Wonder if I can get the demon to trigger down here. Hold on. Can I? No, I can't. I will later, though. Look at his big ass. So it makes you wonder a lot of things. One, is the like the structural integrity of this building is that good that he's not breaking that? Because like, why is this fucking giant hole here? Is that how they dropped out the demons? Like one down there and one up there or something? Makes you wonder. It does make you wonder. I love how the sky is very cloudy and dark in itself, even if there is light. But give the huge important message about this game. Now you walk in to an empty room. You don't know what's going on, but you see that the doors will close. You're like, oh no, what? Oh no. The giant, a silent demon, crushing force, destroying everything he touches, barely surviving with a thread of his attacks, trying to run away. Destruction and utter chaos of unfolds, destroying pillars and buildings around, with no escape, no hope to live. What can we possibly do? Maybe we bring out the sword that I was given. And we do no damage. Which, honestly, if you had the time and patience, you absolutely could spend here all day long and kill him with this. You can, if you want to, you know. It'll take a while. Yeah. Even my strongest attack does 3 damage. But hey, if you manage to kill him right now, you will get a 100% guarantee of getting that hammer. But look at the interesting design of this boss. I really love him. His just giant fat folds, his thorns, and it's really interesting, which we'll see more of with the Beta Chaos and the Witches of Izalith, is that there's this giant theme of like branches and trees sticking out. Because like the Beta Chaos is like a giant fucking tree thing. And it looks like they have like branches sticking out of the demon's like head and legs. I love the design of it, it's so interesting. Especially the music too. Oh, that face is creepy. I love how in Dark Souls 2, if you take your time and know like the AI's patterns, you could just explain lore straight to their fucking faces, and there's nothing they can do. And even when I get hit, I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. Ooh, that's his rare triple attack. And I love how his stomach jiggles. Let's see if we can get the other animation of him jumping up. Come on, fly up. I want to see a little flutter. Show me a little flutter. I want to see you fly now. And he's not being a friendly little guy. Maybe I'll hit him from the back. Maybe this will trigger it. This most likely will trigger his side swipe. Yep, it sure did. Boom. Can you fly, please? Can you fly up? No. Okay, well, as the brave hero tries to escape from the demon's clutches, he tries to look for an escape route, runs in fury, in desperation. He sees a door here. He goes for it, but it is locked, and now the demon has him cornered. What will the adventurer do? But adapt! There's an opening! He runs, jumps into the exit, and survives. The demon's just like, oh man. Oh man. Look at this. People don't know that, but if you could trigger him, like, watch this. If you like do the input like you're trying to heal, the demon's like, oh, I need to attack right now because like you're pressing the input to heal. Come on, hit me. Come on, do it. I know you want to. Do it. Do it. Do it to me. Rah! Rah! Yeah, but if you be careful, you could absolutely die like that with this doors like this. And now we have another bonfire. Interesting thing is that how there's so many bonfires very close together. We definitely won't see this later on, but you know, and you know, if there's not a firekeeper, there can't be a bonfire, unless maybe it has like close ties to the primordial bonfire, which we learn it's not the case, you know. But it makes you wonder, how are these lit? Because there's maybe deep down in here there's another fucking firekeeper, just with a tongue cut off and locked up like the others. Now, Very interesting about this game is like the arrow they shoot does not stay into one place. They curve and they track you. So a very interesting thing to learn later on. And I love how the arrow you get stuck in you. Ow. Let's see if I can get the headshot animation. Nah. Can I punch it? I'm gonna try. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there's the unique headshot animation. Which is funny is that this game does have that, and it does more damage, and it's a stun too. Yeah. Okay, let's slowly walk away from Bowman there. Leather shield. Let's see what we got here. Leather shield. Round leather covered shield. A standard, widely used shield. Small shields are always less stable, but easiest. But landing critical hits after parry is easier. Oh, would you look at that? Honestly, it looks like not a bad shield. An interesting fact that a lot of people don't know this is that shields can absolutely you can do a little left punch first off, and you can parry with your bare hands. But a shield you can use as an actual weapon with a mean haymaker like that, and you have a slam down, especially like this. That one's cool. And I know this is our actual weapon here, but it's funny that you can rock a shield. You have a bash like that, a running bash, and then like a rah, like a down strike. I like the haymaker personally. So when walking here, it's interesting to see like even more of like the broken ceiling, and seeing more of the outside, like slowly more and more to freedom. And it's very interesting seeing the set piece and like all this. Just this place is so ragged and just bricks literally spilling and pouring out from just collapse of age, and wherever world we live in is just, it's old, it's forgotten, it's empty, but yet we remain. The undead remain. Okay, let's see where this guy went. How dare you? So it makes you wonder. Of course, this guy, like, if I like, let's say example, I punch him right, I do 1 damage. It's less than what I did to the other guys. So it makes you think like he probably has more soul or more power than the other ones because he actually even knows how to use a weapon. And we see that he can take a good hit. I love how you can beat him up with a shield. It's really funny. Rah! Big hit. Uh. Bash his fucking head against the wall. But no, it makes you wonder, like, he still only gave me 20 souls. Is it because, like, that means all of them had the potential? Or this one had more sanity? Of course, it's like a video game thing that it's, like, programmed, oh, this hollows in this area at this time only get this amount of souls. Now, fog walls, the very first of many. I really do believe that this is specifically Gwyn's doing. Because we learn later that the Lord Vessels and all of that, and especially when you killed Silver Knights and Black Knights, they explode into a big fucking explosion of light and fog. And this is like, oh, you can traverse this, but Golden Fog you can't. We know that that was done on purpose too. Oh yeah, let me actually get my sword. All right, we'll put the shield on the right spot. Let's see this. Okay. Scimitar. Attack type slash. Small curved sword. Each hit inflicts little damage, but fluid chain attacks are deadly. Ooh. The scimitar's sharp slashing attacks are effective against cloth and flesh. You know, it's effective against cloth and flesh, a fucking pencil. Anything could be effective on that. But not against mental armor or tough scales. Interesting. Now we look at this blade here, a closer look. This is a beautiful, beautiful blade. Oh, I love it. It's still, and even with all this beauty, it's still rusted. This is still old. This is still old. It's not like a brand new whip or anything. I love how it looks. Of course. And like just like the movements, like curving of the wrist and very fitting of the scimitar, very fast movements and to trick your opponent. That move is just stupid. This move is so dumb, especially when you turn your back on an opponent. But you have moves like that. That's a great move. A low to high strike with a scimitar, just trying to get that bleeding and slashing on your opponent, and using the speed of your wrist of the scimitar too. So I love that move. But if you just want to be a barbarian and two wield it, you just do slash 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 and it does so much damage. And a cool one you could do. Whoops. This one also has a lunging too. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. And instead of kicking, you do this like backward slash thing and cartwheel. And not a lot of movesets can do that, which is very interesting. Alright, let's move forward. Now here we are. Now we see a little bit clearly more outside and almost a fog looks almost very closely like to the sky. Just white shrouded in fog. Let's go left. And also these very intricate detailed bars here with the designs and toppers. It really shows like, and this is not rusted at all, barely. Like this was a decadent place before. Okay, and then you see this item here, and you're like, oh, I can get to this. No, you can't. You can't. Funny enough. And then you go back here, like, well, what the fuck's back here? Nothing. That's your answer. Nothing is back here. Okay, hold on. Let me change the setting real quick. Ba 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 ba. Let's do this. Open the studio. Let's do this. Okay. Settings. I open. Why is my eyes like just staying closed? It's funny. Maybe it's just because I'm far. Hold on. Let me try this. Settings, and let's just configure. Okay, man, that looks like it worked a little better. Yeah. Okay, cool. Back to it. Back to it. Advertise yourself. Okay. Now here we are. Back to here. You think you can get to this, right? You know, it's like you get so close. It's like just fucking climb. And it's like no matter how much you jump, no matter how much you may try, you won't be able to get it. Especially, and this is like a good first lesson of like the game's invisible hitboxes and collisions. Because man, there's some nasty ones in this game. Nasty collisions. No matter how hard you try, it's not gonna work. Yeah. Yeah. No matter how hard you try, you're just like, alright, fuck it, whatever. But at least it's showing you that, like, there's an item. Maybe for a fact it can, you know, get it later. Not now, but later. Oh boy, I need food soon. I'm getting so tired. And there we are at night in the shining light. Man, I had several questions about this room specifically. Because we learned that later, like, this used to be an opening. And your first hint is, like, this loose rubble. And you can actually see, like, some cracks through it. If you look close enough. Makes you wonder, like, oh, can I break it with a method or something? Maybe think outside of the box. Like, oh, maybe bash it with my shield or something. Like this or something. No. No dice. No can do. Well, it's like, okay, well, let's go down. And this is really interesting how, like, this, people think it's like, oh, this must lead to something. No. No, it doesn't. At least a fucking FA. But this leads back to the bonfire. Huzzah! Praiseth be the flame! Okay. Now let's go forward. And just Miyazaki, this is a classic Miyazaki trope of just, haha, I got the player into like doing a little bit of damage. Ow. And it's funny, when you come back here to the Undead Asylum, like on the Raven again, like the ball, like if I go to the bonfire right now, the ball won't be back there. But if I come back to the land, the ball will be back there. So it makes me think like that hollow up there specifically. Well, this hollow, he had to roll it all the way back up to the stairs, put it right back here, and wait for it again. Like that's his sole purpose. And a weird thing too. Yeah, there it is. And a cool thing to do with it, you can stand on it. This big old ball. It's definitely not a cannonball. It's way too big for that. But it looks like honestly a decorative piece that it used to be on something. And even this is rusted. And what a beautiful shot of shining light onto his face. And you look already like this knight. Like, of all the classes you could pick from, we don't have anything as nice as he has. Oh, his armor doesn't even look rusty. There's only a few spots. Not even, I actually can't find rust. And then you look at his shield, it's very ornate, very beautiful, doesn't have scuff marks. Looks like it doesn't even have much use, to be honest. Almost like same thing with his blade, too. Yeah, his blade doesn't even have any rust on it, which is a very interesting detail. Very specific. Now here he lays. And it makes you wonder, how did he get down here? Did he just get demon on the roof, get hit by the demon up there? Or did he just simply fall, landed, and oh, this had to hurt. Like, his spine is shattered on this heavy-ass armor, landed on bricks, and you're just, probably can't feel your legs, and you're just sitting in water. And one thing people don't know, but if you listen closely, you can hear him breathe. And it almost sounds ragged. Like he definitely like fucking punctured a rib, punctured a lung. Like he knows, like he's done for. And all he could do right now is just there's nothing in the helmet. All he can do is just lay there. Honestly, quite a pathetic way to die, and it's sad. Now, this guy, let's talk to him.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I were both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Okay. Our first decision in the game. Which is really interesting is that he sees us and notices, like, even though we look hollow, he says, oh, you're not no hollow. Like, there's a huge difference. I'm hollowing, but I'm not a hollow yet. And he says we're both undead. Was he here longer than me, or did he come from a different asylum? Or, it makes you wonder, where did he come from? Where was he this entire time? And he is asking, he's like, I'm done for. But the thing is, it's like, we're both undead. Just respawn and, like, keep going on. But he says, I will lose my sanity after this. It makes you wonder if, like, if you die a certain amount of times, does that mean, like, oh, okay, yeah, you lose all your sanity from there on? Or, what's it called? He just, like, he died in such, like, a pathetic way. Like, totally not what he expected, that he's like, I will have no hope in the future if this is how I'm dying. And it makes you wonder, like, how does he know that he's going to lose his sanity? Is it just because he can't take it anymore? Or he's like, alright, I died for the 200th time, that's it for me. But interesting enough is that you could say no to this. He's like, I don't want to hear you, I don't know you, and fuck, who cares? And that's exactly what I am going to do.
Yes, I see. Perhaps I was too hopeful. Please leave me be. I have not long to live, and I may harm you after death. Now, go.
Now, an interesting character right here, Oscar. Even we shattered his last dreams of like, he's like, please, please hear me out, and we're like, nah, fuck you. He, it's like that crushes. He already knows he's about to go insane, but to take that even further, to twist a dagger in the gut, we say no, and he's like, well, of course not. Of course you wouldn't. You know, we're undead. Who, in this bleak, hopeless world, why would you hear out anyone? And he's like so devastated by that decision. All he could do was laugh. But despite all that, he's still kind enough to say, "Now go, please. I might harm you after this. You know, I might go hollow, and I don't want to hurt you, and something I can't control." And he says, "Just leave me be now."
Please leave me be. I have not long to live, and I may harm you after death. Now, go.
He's like, "Just leave me alone." You could leave him alone, and then he'll die as soon as we leave this room. Or there's another option we could do. Fall into his journey, his destiny, his path, his chosen calling, foiled by something so meager, so pathetic, something so avoidable. Here we stand, a nameless undead. Same fate as his, but we are the one holding the sword. He calls to us, one last hope, one last prayer that will hear his call. But we say nay and crush his dreams. Now all he wants is peace, to die and leave everything behind. But we will not give him that respite. We will take from him his last moment of peace and his last wish of life.
Why?
The voice acting on that is so important. He's literally like in such disbelief, truly broken. It's like, but why? Like, why this senseless chaos, this senseless violence? Why me? I was already going to die. Why do this? And he's just confused. First, it's like startled, but it's like a whimper after that. Just why? And whimpering after that. Like, we give him a painful death. And we get his Estus and key. The Estus flask. The undead treasure these dull green flasks, and yes, it is green. Right there. You can see it. That it's green, not yellow. And especially if you drink it all, it turns green to what it's actually doing. I love how it actually, you know, when you do this, it's actually showing that the liquid, the Estus from the bonfire, is some sort of liquid. It's dripping, which is an interesting detail. Fill with Estus at the bonfire. That makes you wonder what the fuck is Estus. The Estus flasks are linked specifically to the Firekeepers. The Dark Tales also makes reference. The Dark Tales is very, very, very interesting. What's the Dark Tales? An emerald flask from the Keeper's soul. From the Keeper's soul specifically. She lives to protect the flame and dies to protect it further. Now this gives more credence to the theory of like she'll die to protect it further and like she will give up herself to become a bonfire. Maybe you need two Firekeepers. One becomes a bonfire and the other tends to the you know, who knows? Because we don't know specifically how bonfires are there. But that it's interesting to point out that in the Emerald Flask is from a Keeper's soul. That these flasks that people have, I don't know if it's distributed to all of them or every single individual one. Because we know, like, most undead have this. And it's saying it's from a Keeper's soul. But it's also saying this is also the Dark Tales, also makes reference. What is the Dark Tales? Is this even a reliable source of information? She lives to protect the flame and dies to protect it further. You know, but we learn later if a Firekeeper dies, why, you know, and like the bonfire goes out and it can't be lit. If that's the case, why would she die to protect it further? How does it... Is this a way you can manipulate it? Like, take advantage of it and she'll rather die and snuff it out? It's very interesting that why that last line there of everything here. And the Estus Flask is linked to the Fire Keepers. Not to the Primordial Flame, not to a bonfire, but specifically to Fire Keepers. And you're gonna ask yourself, the fuck is a Fire Keeper? You don't even know what that is. Undead Asylum F2 East Key. Opens East Iron Bars in Undead Asylum. The Undead Asylum is a giant undead prison, segmented by countless iron bars. Even if an undead were to escape from the cell, passage to the outside world would not be gained easily. You're like, why not? What's going on? And I like how this now it's a giant undead prison, but before it definitely was not its full intention. We only saw one area of a prison cell? Only one? The rest of the areas we have seen have been very nice. Fucking there's stairs and shit. Ladders. Decor. There's only one area that looks like a prison cell. And you see this, you're like, alright, now I have a weapon, now I have a shield. I can get my revenge on him. You're like, what the fuck? Why is it locked? How'd it get locked? I opened it before. It's the demon just pushing on the door and he's like, haha, you'll never get in. And interesting thing, it's like I rest out of the bonfire, where's Oscar? Does he go back to someone else? Does he go back to less bonfire? Like, in theory, since he is undead, he should respond like these hollows here. He should be here. But he's not. Yet. Specifically, yet. Once we come back, he will be. I really think that's just a gameplay reason. Now, our first enemy. He has a sword. And interesting thing, when he attacks... No, go away. He looks like so insulted. It's like we're just bitch slapping him in the face with a shield. Get off of me. But the weapon he's using is literally the broken sword hilt too. But it's a lot bigger than ours. Quite the interesting detail. And now you're learning very quickly that shields could like block anything. You're like, whoa, this is amazing. But of course, if you turn around, you do get hit. I love that movie. It's just like, I'm slashing everywhere. I punch you. I parry you. And I'll oh my god, nut check. Jesus. Backstab. I'll push you down the stairs like the fucking dork you are. Kick you, yeah. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? You can't fight me? Come on, attack me, attack me. Bitch. Bitch. I love bullying hollows. Yeah. It's like, let me up, I want to get up there. Ow. Yeah, I think I'll just kill you now. One quick, decisive blow to the ah! Ow. I love the ragdolling. Wee. She go down the stairs. What a fun little added detail. And now you're like, oh, that's what this key for is. Interesting. And now I love this moment. We see truly the outside of what is out there. We saw little snippets here and there, but not to this extent. And as we look down, when we look at our surroundings, we truly understand why escape is almost impossible. But we are suddenly ambushed by a quick counter-strike, and we damage the foes quite severely. 2 against 1. The perils seem endless. He blocks the first strike, evades. We don't know what to do in this situation. We regroup, take them one by one in a corridor. But in the tight expanse of land, our sword, our weapon, comes of a folly. What should we do? Our venture is scared. He's hopeless, but one successful parry gives him the opening that he needs. And before, it's now 1-1, and I can confidently put an end to this duo. Now we walk forward. We'll take another faithful sip of our Estus. Now here, we can see clearly that the sky itself is gray, dark, depressing. Get away from Arrow Man. Which is interesting, you can block with your sword. And the funny about that is that you still take the littlest bits of damage. Not too much, but you do. Well, let's just kill him, because that noise is annoying. Goodbye. Alright, now, yay, more talking. Here we are. If you look down, you're like, what if I like to like climb off? Like, is there any possible way for escape? And it's like everywhere you look, it's just, we're on the tip of a fucking mountain. There's no way we can get down there. An interesting thing that's like, you just see more mountain, but you see that? In that area, it looks like trees. Like, if we somehow managed to get down there, we could probably start a civilization. We have wood, we have supplies, something we could use, you know, fucking, I mean, come back here for iron. It'd be a long fucking journey, but it might be possible, if that is trees. It makes you wonder if there even is a civilization out there. Where is life? And you see this opening here. I'm like, wait a minute, can I just, like, jump across? Can I just jump over? Can I? You're like, wait a minute, I think I can get it. I think I can get it? No, no matter what you do, you can't. You can't do it. Like, whoa, what if? What if I had some height to it? Add some height. I want to jump over. I want to be free. I want to break free. And it's like, no matter how much you do it ain't gonna work. And it ain't gonna work. And, you know, funny thing is, since this demon's here now, when I, let's take this off. When I try to input the healing command. Come on, demon, do you want it? There it is. From this distance, he's programmed to, like, I'm healing. He will lunge at you and try to attack you, even if you're through a wall. I think I'm causing him to move around right now by pressing these inputs. Which is really funny. It's like, I have the power of intimidation and mockery. Okay, let's put that back on. We're almost done with the tutorial, and this time it took probably around the same time. Less technical difficulties, and now you come to this entrance, you're like, whoa, where is this? And you're met with a foe you have not seen before. He looks like a hollow, ones you faced many times, but he has a better shield and a fully bladed weapon that strikes. His moveset's different. His power is unraveled that you've never seen before. The armor he has shows that this once belonged to a warrior. Did he find it himself, or is this something he's always had? But this is not a foe that will be bested easily. You must take your time, be careful. He lunges, but you narrowly dodge. He got us cornered against a wall. He takes his opportunity, but we block it, parry it at the last second with our blade. Then we try our stupid move, and what's this? He also can heal, and I too. Shit, really, demon? I'm LARPing here. He takes a set from his trusty Estus, showing that we are not alone. He too is linked to the bonfire. This foe surely must be bested. What must I do? Blade by blade, slash by slash. We might be able to get this. It's close and close, neck by neck. He lunges forward, but I take this opportunity to swing back. But he blocks it in the nick of time. Now, for all for nothing, I run into battle. In one decisive move, I end my worthy foe. And now, let's say if I had the, you see that the door's right there, and the handle's there, and let's say I had the master key. It's locked. It will always be locked, which is such the first lock you come in contact with. It's really funny. It's locked. Master key. Open up any locks. Sees locked door. Locked. All right. So now, let's go to another shrouded area. A very shrouded place. And here we are. We see a giant fog wall, and we can only assume one thing. All roads lead to this very moment, this decisive battle. We look upon, we see a different view. But if we look below, we can see the demons right there. But we see a ledge. Maybe we could jump to the side. And we narrowly dodge. But he collapses the second platform. In our haste, we run away, catching our bearings. Truly, this foe is dangerous. Even despite having better tools at our disposal, he is not an enemy to be trifled with. He commands flight even with his absurd weight. But will our shield be enough? No, it is not. It crushes before us. We are down to our last Estus. We are scared, but we clutch desperately on our shield, and we see that we were able to barely hold on for dear life, our stamina barely clinging on. We try to back away, but oh no, the worst has come to pass. We have officially ran out of our stamina. Not stamina, our Estus, and we are in peril thinking about what do we do? We can't heal no more. This possibly can't be win, but all we can do is try. We go in a desperate flurry of attacks. We see that the damage we do to the beast. The demon is wounded. There is hope after all. He does a big lunge and we narrowly escape. We dance around him, flinging back as we do damage upon damage. We charge upon the beast's gullet and slashes his organs. Bit by bit, the battle is intense. The damage is piling up for both parties. We are both wounded and tired. But we must not falter. We must be victorious. As the battle draws close to an end, the demon flies up to make his final attack, but we charge in, and with the final blow, the demon has been felled. Explodes. Victory achieved. We get humanity. We get two important things. We get the big Pilgrim's Key. It opens the inner door that's Asylum main hall. So it shows like this is literally the main hall of what it used to be, because this is what it was designed for. A key to the inner door of the Undead Asylum main hall. It's a big key belonging to a chosen undead pilgrim, which is interesting how someone was also a chosen undead, and it shows that this fucker was eaten by the demon. He didn't get far. But this chosen undead knows not what pilgrimage has in store. Surely it had in store a fucking demon that he got eaten. Now here we are. We have conquered the demon, and also we see in like the windows and awnings there that's more of those decorative statues that we saw. And that footsteps we still hear is that demon there. Now here we are. Now this door is a lot more ornate, and it's like thick copper. You can see it oxidized and everything. It doesn't have that oily texture and rainbow like viscous on that door, but this one is pure bronze. We could hear like the heft of this door, but yet we have a key. No like keyholes or anything. But this is very ornate. Very big. And this must have lit it out, like here's the main hall. Of course that would lend into more into like the inner sanctum. Here, this doesn't look like personal quarters, but maybe what I'm thinking of like something like in the Skyrim, where this is like the main hall, main area. This would lead up into like the king's quarters or something like the where the royal people would be at, in the throne is my guess. But when you look around, you see alright more foliage, and you're like, okay, how do I escape? How do I escape? How do I climb down here? Is it truly just a dead end? How must I leave? Also, I love these triple stairs. Such a beautiful piece. Like, this truly was an ornate place. Of course, the tutorial. Good job. Go straight ahead. Well, the thing is, what if I was staring at it, the message from here? You told me to go straight ahead. Well, this is straight for me. But every single which way you look, it almost looks impassable. There's no possible way that you can escape. Left, right, you don't know what to do. You don't know, and you see here now that these are like actual tombstones. It looks like it does have engravings of like people who did die here. And it's definitely, this goes way back, even before the asylum was made for a prison. But this place obviously had like loved ones and families and probably butlers and servants here, and tombs. But if I explore further down here, what is this? We see another person, a soul of the lost undead, which is interesting, because you're like, whoa. When I kill things, I gain souls, but he dropped a soul. Soul of a lost undead who has long ago gone hollow. Used to acquire souls. Souls are the source of all life. And whether undead or even hollow, big difference. One continues to seek them. No matter what, even if we're hollow or undead, and we're not hollow yet, we always yearn to seek seek souls. And it says, souls are the source of all life. Now here's where it gets really fucking crazy. Humanity. A rare tiny black sprite found on corpses. Used to gain one humanity, specifically numerical and individual, and restore a large amount of HP. This black sprite is called humanity, but little is known about its true nature. We know its function, but we don't know its nature. If the soul is the source of all life, which this shows right here, the souls are the source of all life, then what distinguishes the humanity we hold within ourselves? This is very important. Like, is it the humanity of a reflection of who we are as a person, and our personalities and our characteristics and our quirks and our passions and dreams? Or is it a physical thing? Is it a physical item that we gain one humanity? And we get more of ourselves, or we get more, or do we become more humanized? Because we know it doesn't give us power, but literally more of a numerical number of humanity. And it makes you wonder, well, then what is its nature? If we're always acquiring souls, why do we need two humanity when we just only need the one? It makes you wonder. But with a little bit more exploring, we see this. Like, oh, a little bird nest, what the hell is this? Is it an item here? You're like, what's going on? It's nothing. You're like, don't know what's going on. I know, since usually this is Snuggly the Crow and it like talks to you and trade items, but right now I believe because I'm in offline mode here. Let's see this. Let's options. Here, I'm just gonna quit real quick because I don't want to miss this, because it's gonna be a while until we come back here. Let's see, key settings, PC settings. Key, no. Wait. No. Load game. Let's see if Snuggle's gonna talk to me. I don't think so. Oh, there we go.
You, give me warm, give me soft.
And it makes you wonder, what the fuck is give me warm, give me soft? What does that even mean? Well, you realize you look at your items and stuff. Let's say I look at, specifically souls. Well, it's like, well, this kind of looks warm. It looks like a flame on a fire. What if we drop this, you know? Yeah, we drop it.
No. That, no. That, no warm. That, no soft.
I do love, like, the British European accent on Snuggly. Like, why? And it's like, well, what about humanity? I don't really have, the only things I can drop is weapons, and that's cold. And I don't want to drop my weapons. I can't drop the dark sign. But what if I drop humanity? And this is really interesting. The one thing you could drop that you gain naturally in the game, you get something interesting. And since he told you, he didn't tell you, like, no, no, that's not warm, that's not soft. If we exit out by giving one humanity, we get something very, very, very interesting, especially for a lore standpoint.
You, give me warm. Give me soft.
He's like, yeah, that's what I want, that's what I... And in exchange, I give you what? I give you this. A ring of sacrifice. And you look at it, it's like, whoa, I get a ring, what the hell is that? Ring of sacrifice. This mystical ring was created in a sacrificial rite of Velka, the first mention of Velka, the goddess of sin. Its wearer will lose nothing upon death, but the ring itself breaks. It shows that, like, Velka has, like, a power over death to a degree. We know, like, Nito, he's literally everything that controls death. In a way, it's very vague. But that the only other place that we know of within Dark Souls 1 of rites is also, like, the Estus rite, the Kindling rite. What is the name? Oh, Leroy, Paladin Leroy tries to go for, and it's later down. It's gathered by Pinwheel, and you kill Pinwheel, and then you get it. But it's interesting that this was created in a sacrificial, something was sacrificed for the rite of Velka, or writ of Velka. You're like, wait, goddess of sin? What do you mean goddess? In the very intro, it only tells you about 4 things. Of all the people that we know about ancient time, there was Gwyn, Nito, then the Witch of Izalith. But then you also had the immortal dragons, and then you had Seath. And then the 4th one is the furtive pygmy. Furtive as in, like, a pygmy, something so small, something so tiny, and furtive that it has potential room for growth. That's all we know of. We never heard of Velka. Who the fuck is Velka? But it's the goddess of sin, which is very, very interesting. Now, the first thing you learn with Velka, the first introduction, is that this crow here, specifically crow, like a squawking, has some ties with Velka. When we learn later that's even more so the case. So with only nowhere to go, and exploring further on ahead, we only go forward to what we have, and embark into our pilgrimage into the unknown.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
And there it is. The giant raven or the giant crow.
To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage.
In pilgrimage. It's like this is a huge thing that is not like to one person.
To the ancient lords.
To the land of ancient lords. Lordran. And it makes you wonder, like, look at this, look how giant. You can see the first bell is already there. There's the church, that's the place we need to go to. And you see the beautiful architecture of Lordran and how fucking massive this world is. Not even in terms on, like, a gameplay and, like, open ability, but truly scale. And I like how where it drops off us, and the first thing we see, and what we can see, is a blue sky this time with light instead of gray and darkness. And of course that bird's back up there. And back into the theory of Velka, that Velka is the narrator of this. It's like she's trying to tip the scales into a certain way. But she looks like she doesn't care if it's for either later the light soul or the dark soul. It's just the pilgrimage of nothing of else. It makes you wonder. But for now, we're only going to talk very, very briefly because there's so much to talk. But one thing I want to point out is look at this. Look at the fucking scale. Like, this character would probably be able to see around like 5'10", maybe 6, no, 5'10", 5'11". And you see how, like, this is a huge wall. Look at the fucking structure of this giant fucking wall. And you're like, holy shit, that goes so far. So huge. And then you see it just keeps going and keeps going. And everything, all the structure is just covered in moss and grass. And everything's just broken down. And you see, like, that's like a side of a mountain. But you even have a giant fucking tree just breaking out of it. And I can't wait. And this tree is very important to later on of what this actually connects to. And it's beautiful. It's insane. But this truly is a giant. And we learn it is truly an everlasting tree. And then that's not the only one. We'll later find out later on that over down there as well is another everlasting tree. But for right there, this is where we're going to end it on. There's so much more to talk about. So much more to do, but my mouth is so cotton mouth. I need food, and it's been what? Let's see, almost an hour and a half of just on the tutorial. I mean, it was better than 3 hours like last time, but man, so much to go into Dark Souls, so much to go to, and I can't fucking wait. And I think that's a beautiful place to stop, and I hope everyone has a great day. And this is going to be a long, exciting journey on my playthrough of VOD of Dark Souls. So I hope you all have a great day, a great time, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.